Welcome back to another episode. Today going over chapter 16 through 20. Back with Mr. Dresden himself. Be joined, of course, by Wolfman Mud. Hope we're all doing good. Good to see you, Wander, Christy, Tina. All right.
So far behind, I just started mine. I had to wait for OBS to be like, start stream, and I click in. It's like, no, that's too soon. You have to wait. It's like, oh, okay.
Still waiting on the blue dog. Who's blue dog?
That's her dog.
That's her dog. Okay, I was gonna say, that sounds like an actual dog. It's not like a person's... Finally got some glasses because my contact drive me crazy. It finally came. Order them. A lot easier. Not wear contacts and stare at a screen.
Oh, so
oh
true.
man, husky. Oh, you got a husky too. Oh, I want a husky. Guys.
She has pictures in the Discord.
That's him. Okay, I was wondering. Okay. Pets. Boom.
No, wrong screen. Oops, that transition really messed up.
Aha. Oh yeah, you know.
The wrong button.
That's a cute dog. Oh wait.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, blue dog's cute. Hello, Tina. Hello, John. Hello, Wander.
Hello,
Christy.
Hello. Welcome.
Season greetings. I burned my mouth. Like I was saying, I told you I just had dinner. Some of it was a hot and sour soup. I did not let that cool.
Well, that's when you know it's a good meal, because you didn't take time for it to cool. That you just said no. I'm eating it right now. Burn your tongue. Didn't matter.
It's like pizza. It's like, how does it taste? I don't know. I can't feel my face anymore. Can't feel my mouth. I guess we should do the official intro. Hi, my name is Xeno and Mozzie. This is my beautiful co-host.
I'm Xeno, and we'll be going over, again, the Dresden Files, Stormfront, and we're going over chapters 16 through 20 today.
By the amazing Jim Butcher. I'm thoroughly impressed with him. I really am. I mean, I was before, but rereading it now, it's just like, wow, okay, you have a lot of talent.
It's really good, yeah. It's Ooh, these are some spicy ones.
He has a very good ability to draw you in. Like, I found myself, chapter 16, 17, 18, I was taking notes while reading, and then 18 on, I forgot to take notes, because I was just too sucked into it. So I'd read like 4 pages and be like, I didn't highlight any notes, so I went back and like highlighted notes, and then I'd keep reading and then forget to take it again. They're so good. So good. I noticed that I have this typo there. Well, I guess without any further delay, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Well, I guess just to give a quick recap of what happened at the end of 15, Dresden felt very down because he wasn't able to save Linda. He broke Murphy's trust. And there was a killer on the loose still that he wasn't any closer to finding. That's kind of where we left off to pick up chapter 16, which was kind of him still reflecting on that he lost Murphy's trust. And he was exiting the police station when a man came by who, with a hat pulled down, and he recognized... and he sucker punched him. Hang on one second. Say something real quick.
Hello.
Yeah, I thought so. 1 second. You go ahead. I need to fix something real quick.
Yeah. So, starts looking like a familiar figure. You can see it sucker punch in the gut. The guy starts just hammering him, beating him down until he falls over, and then goes down and cuts a lock of his hair off. in some person.
Yeah.
Which we know now, after the wizarding intro to the world, that that's something personal, and they can do anything with that.
Yeah, that is huge because it connects you to a person, and you can have a lot of sway over them, like casting spells to have your heart burst out of your chest. Hey, John, how's it going, dude? Hopefully, you had a good lunch with the wifey. Oh, hopefully, you guys are you're celebrating your Valentine's this weekend. Hopefully, you guys have fun. Let's see.
So the exchange was not very pleasant because Dresden, of course, being wiry, was able to get his leg and he popped the guy's knee because he had like a trick knee.
Yeah, that made me squirm a little bit. But in doing so, the hat got knocked off, and he recognized the dude, and it was Marcone's, one of Marcone's goons that he called Gimpy. I don't know if that was his actual name. I'm guessing not. I say actual name, like actual nickname or something, but he called him Gimpy. And yeah, he sunk his Gimpy was holding his hair, and Dresden was like sinking his fingers into the joints of his hands to try and get him to drop it.
Right into the tendon, like so right where like the bone is separating, and he was just like digging his thumbs in, like just
That's like with the pinky. If you're able to control the pinky, you can control the whole hand. But if you dig your fingers in there, man, that would just hurt.
Because he's like, hey, he's gonna give it. It doesn't matter how strong he is. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, and then some random dudes like came over and thought that Dresden, which I love the fact that this whole time he's still in a trench coat, a shirt that says Easter's off, they found the bodies, a pair of cowboy boots and sweatpants.
I love the cowboy
this whole
boots.
thing.
I love it.
Me too. such a nice addition. Is just what he called him because it's popped. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Later he referenced, like throughout the next couple chapters, he referenced.
It's Mr. Anyway. Lawrence is what.
Lawrence, yeah.
When they say later, sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, but yeah, they come over and break it up, and he's like, he stole my wallet, and they're like, yeah, okay. And then Gimpy started running away, and they're like, okay, we want nothing to do with this. And Dresden started running after them, and then Gimpy got away in his car and whatnot. However, and then Dresden's like super, like, he's scared because he has the hair, but then he's like, okay, whoever this wizard is, they're not that good. Because I kicked that, shadow spell. What did he call it? The shadow sending spell. Like it was nothing. So this guy's a chump. But he's still worried that he has his hair because it's still huge. Go ahead.
I really like that part in particular because it went kind of through that mental process that you would go through in a situation like that where like you could be dead now. Like you just lost something so important you could cost you your life. And he's just going over like all the possibilities. He can't go to Murphy because like all these other options, they're all just like useless. He's going over it in his head, and he's just stuck, and it's just terrible until he realizes he's got some blood.
Yep, he's got a little bit of Gimpy as well. Hey Bender, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Books for reading? I know, right, Melted? You use them for reading? We do here, baby. Yeah, and then he I also really love, because this comes up a lot, where Dresden psychs himself up. He's like, nah, I'm a badass wizard. I got this. And it's just, I don't know. I love those interactions where he's just pepping himself up. And then when he realizes he has the blood, he throws back his head and just laughs, and he's like, ha ha ha, you're mine. And then he does I don't think he said what kind of spell it was, but he hops in he makes a circle, does a spell with the blood, and then he turns himself into a bloodhound, essentially. He's like, I can smell his cologne now. Which the end of that chapter was, he has really good ends to the chapter, because he called a cab, or a cab came up, and he's like, who's this for? He's like, for me. We got 2 places to go. Here's my house. And where's the other place, sir? I'll let you know when we get there. And it's like, yes. Yes, Dresden, I love you so much. I I really liked that interaction because there was so much going on, especially with the two random guys that just came out of nowhere. Because he said right when Gimpy started punching him, like it was in front of a gas station, a well-lit gas station on a main road before midnight. So it's like there's people around. And a lot of times books just like assume if you're in like a public place, it only focuses on the main characters and everything else is like happening around them doesn't like affect what's happening. And having the two random people like interacting with their little scuffle was really cool. I thought it was a really cool addition.
I love the part where he's like, he's got my wallet, and they're like, confused, and then they like let him go and just like walk away. Let's go.
Yeah, Chrissy said it's also Friday night too. In the book, it was on a Friday night. So I think the attention to the detail from Jim Butcher was really good. But now Dresden has a place of where he needs to go, which leads to chapter 17, which, like we were saying earlier, a lot of these chapters are really good, but 17 was so good. It was so good. So he finds himself in front of the Varsity, which is a club owned by Marcone. And it's at this point a little bit past midnight, so it's pretty busy. And then so he comes up to the club and wait, I missed something here. I think I got these out of order, but anyway, he kind of roams around. He finds the Gimpy's car, using the cologne scent. So he's kind of like getting himself prepared and preparing his like weaponry, like his blasting staff. What do you have? He had his blasting staff. He had like a defensive bracelet, which I think is just like a kind of like a shield.
Like a shield, yeah.
Yeah, and he had something else too. I don't remember. But either way, he walks up to the door and just blows the door just apart, which I thought was also very interesting. That like he wanted to be flashy and a badass, but he still wanted to be a gentleman. So he blew the door inward because he's like, well, there was innocent people inside, so I don't want to hurt anyone. So he blew it towards himself.
Mm-hmm.
Not hurting him, obviously, it just like bounced off of him.
So
but
cool, yeah.
I just thought it was kind of interesting. And then he walks in and just like, I don't know which, like, I guess the blasting rod is what he used. He hit the jukebox, which, and I quote, the jukebox slammed back against the wall as though a cannonball had impacted, and then melted into a puddle of liquid plastic goo. It's just like, okay, that's how a wizard makes an entrance. That's pretty badass. And of course everyone, all the like bystanders just like stop. Oh no, he said like the bystanders reacted how like a movie, you know, how normally you'd see like people screaming, people ducking for cover. Yeah, exactly. And then it was just silence. And then he has this altercation, well, more of a discussion, kind of standoff with Marcone's there, the bull-necked Mr. Hendricks, Gimpy, and Spike. I think these were all three of the guys that were with... Where was it?
When they got him outside of his
outside
apartment?
The police station.
Or the police station.
It was when he was coming out of the police station, and they, like, put him in the car with Marcone. Yeah. I think it was all three of the same guys there. And they had this, like, altercation... Well, not really an altercation yet, but where Dresden was just, like, accusing Marcone, and Marcone was just like, what are you talking about? He's like, I want my hair back. And he's like, what are you on about? What is this? On the way from the crime scene. Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. It wasn't outside the station. It was outside the crime. That's right.
I like that point because I felt like he's just such like that gentleman gangster that he doesn't have any reason to lie because, I mean, he's in a situation where he's got all his boys around him anyways. He's just like, oh, no. So I was just like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Already, where is the hair?
Yeah. Oh, even before that, like, both of them, like, both Harry and Marcone are gentlemen enough. Well, I guess Marcone is more like this bad business that they let everyone out first. Like, everyone just left the varsity. They're like, all right, you know, varsity's closed for the night, apparently. Go ahead and go home. Marcone was like, don't worry about the tabs. It's on the house and all that. Yeah, and then Dresden was just like, Gimpy over there stole my hair. And Gimpy's like, no, I didn't. Which apparently he's just a terrible liar. And eventually he's like, well, check his hand. I clawed the shit out of his hand. He's got marks on it. And Marcone's like, all right, Gimpy, show me your hand. And then he just like cracks. And it got so intense so quickly, but it was over so fast. Because Gimpy snaps, pulls out a revolver. Does he even get a shot off?
Yeah, he fires at him, and he uses the amulet to shield himself from the bullets.
Right. Okay, yeah. He deflects the bullet, and then one of the thugs, I don't remember which one.
The big boy, Mr. Hendricks.
Mr. Hendricks, okay. Yeah. Just pulls out this gun and just pop, pop, pop to the chest, one to the head, I think.
Yep. Like a
the
professional.
The third one hit him right over the eye. Yep. The right eyebrow. And Marcone's just like, I wanted him alive. But, yeah, so it was over super fast. And then Harry was just like, I don't know what the word is. He just had like, this is not the way I wanted it to go. He was just like, actually, I think he said, he said all of a sudden it wasn't a game anymore. I just wanted to walk away from it alive.
Yeah, and it was like, it's supposed to be that macho standoff. He's supposed to come in like a badass and just be like, hey, man, and they're supposed to just stand all tough and not actually have any action, but nope, bullets exchange, somebody's dead. I mean, yeah, I really like that human aspect where somebody would be rattled by seeing something like that. You would definitely. Even a wizard, who's seen stuff before, still rattled. Yeah.
Very much the good guy. He's like, I didn't expect any harm to come to him. I thought we were just going to talk and, handle this like gentlemen. But nope, they dropped him immediately. And then the whole time after that, Marcone was just so business. It was just like, let's see. He said his face showing no more emotion than it had the entire evening. So like he wasn't even fazed by it. He peeled back Gimpy Lawrenson his left sleeve and studied the man's wrist. And that was just, it's so savage. Like, oh, this guy is a stone cold killer. He's willing to be violent, but really doesn't want to. Yeah, exactly. Like he's ready and prepared to defend himself, but he's like, needless violence is just not something that he's about. And I think that's partly because of the gentleman, like the good guy gentleman that he is and that he wants to be.
Yeah, great guy.
And then like Marcone was like, why would you even think that I would be behind these killings? And Dresden's like, oh shit, no, you're right. It's not good for business. You don't murder innocent bystanders because
he's good.
According
at
to
his
you,
job,
it's just bad for business. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, no, this wouldn't have been you. Like I should have known that. And then at the end, Dresden's just like, what are you gonna do? And Marcone's like, nothing. I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. And I wrote this down too. It says verbatim, I must maintain control. It isn't personal, Mr. Dresden. It's business. And then he said nothing. I need to do nothing. Either our enemy will kill you, or you will find him in time and bring him down. If you do defeat him, I will let it be understood to anyone who asks that you did so at my behest. After which I will be inclined to forget this evening. It's just like, damn. Okay. Although he did give him a little bit of what he knew, he did say that everyone who he's encountered, I guess, distributes the third eye drug or three-eyed drug. Three eye. They say that he just goes by the shadow. That he is always in the shadows. So people just call him Shadow, I guess.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Isn't that shadow spell or whatever it is?
Yeah, which makes me wonder if that's just how he communicates with everyone.
I mean, scared little. Ooh, I'm so scary. I'm a wizard. But he's some like part wizard, like baby wizard, basically. Doesn't
Amateur.
really know what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. Well, I mean, what did you think about that whole? Oh, by the way, again, still, whole time Dresden, like this whole scene is going on. He's still in his trench coat. He's still in that t-shirt, sweatpants, and the cowboy boots. He has not changed, which is just so great.
Yeah. How could you not love it? That's absolutely just really good action. Again, electronics just turns him into a puddle of goo. I love that, like that kind of sense. And it's just perfect. It's good.
It was such a interesting exchange of power. Like, because Dresden showed the physical, well, I guess the magical, like, power that he possesses, and Marcone kind of showed the, like you said earlier, the gangster mob power, just like the presence of power. It's like, okay, I get shit done. Like, don't mess with me. And just that whole standoff was just really cool, really well written. He doesn't have any clean. Oh, that's true. He doesn't have any clean clothes. That's right. That's why he's wearing this ridiculous setup. I forgot about that. He's barely showered just because of that that whole fight scene with the demon. He's an alliance wizard. Exactly. He's an alliance wizard. Then we go to chapter 18, which calmed down a little. Well, it calmed down a lot, actually. He said that whenever he's feeling down, whenever he has he being Dresden, whenever he has a particular tough problem or needs to think, he walks. Like, he goes for walks. He clears his head. So he does just that. He goes for a walk. During his walk, he said he thought about his father, which we get to see some of his early childhood, which was really interesting and really sad too. He talked about his father. He said that his father was a good man, a generous man, and a hopeless loser. And it's just like, wow, I can... Oh, and that he was a stage magician. He was a stage magician at the time when technology was producing more magic than magic. That's so sad. Yeah. It's just like you can see, at least I can, you can see that person very clearly. It's like, probably, well, if he's a stage magician, he's probably handsome, ruggedly handsome or just, handsome. He always has a smile, but it's probably fake. It's probably like a mask. Because he also said that his father always seemed a bit sad, like just a little bit sad always. He wasn't, his father wasn't there when his mother died.
Or when he was born.
Yeah, and when he said those back to back, he wasn't there when he was born, and he wasn't there when his mother died, which makes me think that she died in childbirth, but I don't know. He didn't say. So that just might be me projecting and inserting things that aren't there. But that's what I took away from that. Then he said that his father died. I don't remember of what. I didn't add that to my notes. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
He died of something in his sleep, and it was
because of the doctor said it was
the doctors.
A brain aneurysm.
An aneurysm. Yep. Which, the way it was written makes me think that Dresden doesn't believe it. Because he was like, that's according to the doctors. That's what the doctor says.
Yeah, and like brain burst. Like, how bad was this aneurysm? Like, to use those words, it seems like we're gonna find out more
weird.
later. Yeah,
seems weird. And then in like all this process of him walking and him thinking about his past, he finds himself in front of Linda's apartment. And he just, like, his feet took it. Kind of like if you're driving home from work or you're driving to work and you just kind of zone out and then you're just there. It kind of felt like that. It's just like your feet kind of, or his feet kind of took him where he wanted to go, but he wasn't like actively thinking about it. Anyway, he went into the apartment, laid down on the floor, and just fell asleep. And at this point, he'd been awake for, gosh, how long? 48 hours? More?
Quite a bit. And then plus just doing all that magic probably took it out of him.
Yeah. Twice, because it's the same, it's not the same night, but it's still the same period of time that he's been awake, that he fought the demon, and now the whole exchange in the varsity. So that's a lot of magic. Unless I'm missing something.
Sounds off.
What's up?
Oh, just sounds.
But needless to say, he is absolutely knackered and fighting the demon. Yeah, exactly.
Light echo. I might be sitting back too far. I wonder if it's pulling from.
Is it pulling from my headphones or
I
my
don't
mic?
think so. I don't hear anything from your side, so.
Okay.
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, I guess you'd hear it if it was. Okay. These books always make me feel tired. They're an emotional roller coaster. They take a lot out of the reader because you feel so invested, and there's so much action, so much going on, and there's a lot of sad parts. And we'll get to another one here in a little bit, but yeah, Dresden finally falls asleep on the floor of Linda's apartment, right next to her large bed. Oh yeah, and his last thoughts were like, I might die in 2 days.
Yeah.
You good?
Uh-huh.
I might die in 2 days, but I don't really care. Like, at this point, I think he's just too exhausted and he's gone through too much emotional trauma that it's just like, I don't really care right now.
Yeah, he's got.
Like, I don't.
Guy's got his hair. There isn't much he can do. He doesn't have anything to go on. He's got no lead. He's just kind of sunk at that point.
No. Yep. It's so true. He still has lightning hair. I forgot about that. It's just. Anyway, then he wakes up. He doesn't know how much time has passed. Oh, he woke up to the sun outside to the point where he couldn't bear it anymore. So he slept through the night. And he sees something under Linda's bed. He finds a roll of film, and immediately I'm like, where have we seen a roll of film before? At the lake house. And I was like, oh, okay. Linda was the photographer. What did she have on this film? And there's kind of a connection where a connection wasn't there before. It's like, okay, the Heartburst murders are now directly linked to the Lake House and Monica's case. Like, because before we had two separate cases, but now we have one case or two cases that are connected. And then all of a sudden, he hears someone at the door or someone coming down the hall. And he... Oh, sorry, I'm slipping chapters. That's slipping into this chapter 19. He makes the connection between the two murders and them being connected. Do you have anything else to add before I hop over to chapter 19? Turn that down. Music's too loud. So yeah, he hears the door, hears someone coming up to it. Someone start to open it. He quickly just hides behind the door, which is very like cartoony, I feel like. It's like the obvious place to hide that everyone checks first. But either way, he hops behind the door, it opens up, and this dude comes in. And we don't recognize him. It's how do you describe him? He said he was just kind of like a normal build with slick back ponytail hair that he does not recognize. So Dresden, still in his, I made a note of this, still in his sweatpants and cowboy boots, which he tries to hide like kind of under his duster because he tries to impersonate a police officer. And obviously with that kind of get up, he's not going to be impersonating a police officer very well.
So also just one other part when he sees the guy's face, he's like, oh, he looked pretty like a handsomer guy, and then he saw his face, he's like, oh no, it kind of looks like a ferret. yeah, that was very interesting. He was like, oh, handsome dude. Oh no, your face is all wrong. It's like, damn, Dresden, all right, jeez. So yeah, he pretends to be a police officer, a cop, and he has a not a makeshift badge, but just like
almost like a visitor's pass, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of his I'm working with the cops
Yeah,
badge thing.
yeah.
Got
His consulting credentials, I guess.
yeah.
Maybe that's the way to put it. He would totally be wearing a members only jacket. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. That's true.
Yeah, this
That's
guy
true.
for sure he would.
For sure. But the mystery person identifies themselves as Donnie Wise, which I'm just like, yes, love that name. And he is actually our mystery photographer. I thought Linda was, but this is our mystery photographer.
Yeah, because he immediately went for the under the bed looking for that roll, exactly where it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because Dresden, when he hopped out, he scared him and he bonked his head and, like, comical style had to crawl back under from the bed. That's right. I forgot about that. And then Dresden kind of convinces him. Well, Donnie sees through his charades with the badge or the consultant consultant's badge. And he's like, "You're not a cop." And he's like, "Well, I still got your film though." So he makes a deal with him, and he's like, "I'll give you the film for what you know." And he tells him that he saw a sexy party at the lake house. He did so. We've kind of already know that this guy, he's a photographer. And me personally, it's like, if you're a photographer like that, you're kind of sleazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're in it for the money. You don't, right?
Yeah, this guy's a huge
He's kind of a
sleaze
sleazebag. Yeah. And he was like, okay, I'm taking pictures there. But even he says, even being sleazy, it wasn't like you'd see in the films. He said it was like he couldn't really watch and he couldn't get out of there quick enough, which I thought was really weird because it's like, okay, if you're a perv, you're definitely going to want to perv. And this whole interaction was different, which I wasn't sure how to take that.
Yeah. And he also mentioned that there were, multiple guys there, right? With the two girls.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah.
that kind of took me back to the multiple person theory. So maybe it is multiple wizards with the storm. We know the storm is powering them, but I don't know. That's just I'm just spitballing.
And we do know that there was a storm at that night. So you're thinking the act was part of the spell?
Oh, maybe not that. Maybe not that necessarily, but at least you got multiple guys. They're all involved in whatever this is,
Okay. And Linda was one of the participants. She was one of the females.
Yeah.
We did learn that as well. And Dresden, I love Dresden so much. He's like, why are you why would Linda want you to take pictures of that? And he's like, I mean, isn't it obvious? Like, she wanted blackmail. It's like, why else would you? And he's just like blissfully ignorant, I feel like, which was great. Like using energy as a group, maybe, Xeno?
Maybe.
What Christy said? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, that he had to look away from the experience is what I wrote down. He said that Linda wanted leverage on someone. And then Harry was just like, all right, well, what are you going to do with the film? And it was just like, I don't remember what reason he gave. Obviously, he wanted to sell it.
Yeah,
like,
sell it, and then he references Hugh Hefner, and
yeah.
all
It
the
was just like,
sleazy
you
stuff.
are a sleazeball.
Huge
Yeah.
sleaze.
And Harry's like, all right, cool. Oh, and then, that's what Donnie said that I want to make sure it gets destroyed. And Harry's like, okay, boom.
Yeah, because
Sets it on fire.
he was he's like, I'm totally gonna destroy it, bro. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
getting rid of it. So Harry's like, oh, let me help you. Boom.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Boom, it's gone. I thought that was funny. I was like, yes, you take that, you sleazeball. But then that also just confirms Harry's suspicion of the two cases being connected. This is the link. It's just like, okay, yep, it's all connected now. And then he has a lead. They also said, like, what is the connection? Why is there, why was I brought into the missing husband's case? And he was like, oh, the answer is simple. It wasn't an accident. This was on purpose. So I have one person I need to talk to, Monica. Like, she has the answers, or at least she's the next lead. Donnie said that Dresden wouldn't understand the photos. Oh yeah, that's right. He did say, like,
which could be interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, that was the part of the argument of Harry giving Donnie the film, is like, you don't know what you would be looking for, and you wouldn't understand it. I thought that was strange. It also may have just been him talking out his ass to try and get the film. But what did you think of that whole interaction?
I mean, just another well-written scene and exchange. I love, like, the details he puts in. Like, he's like, I went, goes behind the door, and he's like, it's pretty obvious. He probably should have seen me, but he was freaking out too much.
He's all
that,
like,
and then
he was like
panicking.
He was like, from where Donnie looked, I was very much in his peripheral. He should have saw me. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I really like Jim Butcher's way of almost before describing a person. Like, for example, Donnie being a sleazeball. We already knew he was a sleazeball just from, like, the first interaction, and then Jim Butcher confirms it. It's like, oh, no, he's a sleazeball. Like, it's just, I think he does such a good job of introducing characters and their personalities that you get a sense for them even before it's blatantly told to you.
I feel like that's kind of even like the subtle hints he gives about the guy's face, where he was like, he's probably a handsome looking guy, but no, he looks like a fairy. He's got like his eyes are too small, and like his proportions are all wrong on his face. Like, yeah, something is, something's greasy about this guy. I like that. It's just kind of like a little bit of how he writes is just very good.
Absolutely love it. Which I think he's even stronger in this next chapter, because there's so many subtleties to this next chapter. This is the one, and I was telling Xeno before we started this chapter, immediately I wanted to read the next chapter. I had to force myself to stop.
Yeah, this was
mostly
a hard
because
one.
It was so good. But anyway, so we get to chapter 20, where Dresden goes to Monica Sell's house in the suburbs. The description, well, first off, before I get into it, what did you think of the description of the suburbs?
It's creepy, and then it's like got this really messed up vibe, like something bad's happening. I mean, it looks like a nice place, but all these houses are for sale. There's no birds, no dogs, nothing. Creepy.
He says that field taken all together, like you said, the empty houses, the for sale signs, the lack of birds singing in the trees, something was wrong with the suburbs. Taking all that together, it had the feel of, I think I misspelled it. Anyway, that the place was blighted. It was like, ooh, blighted. This is a place where a black wizard had set up shop. It's like, damn. It also kind of has, there's been a lot of other, like, books and shows that do this, but they'll have, like, the white picket suburb, like, cul-de-sac that looks, like, pristine and everything, but there's something out of place. Like, you just know that, like, something's, like, off about it. It had that vibe, and I thought it was really interesting and cool to see. But Dresden finds Monica's house, goes up, knocks, no one answers. They bartered a bit about the information. Yeah, they did barter for the information for a little bit. Goes up and knocks, no one answers. I think he just kept knocking or something. And then Monica opens the door crack and, like, sees him. And she's like, nope, go away, and all that. And he forces himself inside. Like, she goes to close the door, he puts his cowboy boot in the door, and forces himself inside, which he said Monica was surprised by it, and even himself, he was surprised that he did that. Like, he wasn't expecting it, which again kind of goes back to him being a gentleman, I guess. And
he's kind of, because I think the exact he didn't realize how angry he was after all this.
Right.
You're just like, bam.
Exactly. And I think, actually, No, it was before the varsity, and I think a couple other times in these last 5 chapters, he's had to stop himself and be like, I need to breathe. I need to calm down. Because he's getting so pissed off.
Which is so
Which, I mean,
realistic, honestly. Like, that.
Yeah.
That's, like, the mental attitude that somebody needs to... Especially in this kind of tense situation. That's what you would really do if you were trying to not do something stupid. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, just like Harry does, and... calm down. Don't do something stupid. Handle this the right way.
It's also, I mean, at this point, he has slept a little bit, but still, it's probably what's keeping him going is the anger and the, like Christy said, his determination.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm hitting it.
But in that moment that he has to calm himself down, Monica goes at him with a stunner, with a taser. And they have this interaction, or this encounter, this back and forth, where he's dodging the taser and whatnot, which he doesn't seem like too worried about it. He's just like, get out of here, and whacks it away with his staff and stuff. But then they lock eyes momentarily, and they soul gaze together, and that is where, like, I feel like the brilliance of this chapter comes out. The whole interaction with, and I think I wish I had the chapter pull up, but I'm just going to go off memory. Immediately, he's like, oh, I understand. I know exactly why you did what you did and what's happening here. But Jim Butcher gives you piece after piece, like little pieces to keep you like reading and keep you invested. And he's like, I know, I can see now. And then you kind of get more of it where she goes in with the taser, like, right at his face. Oh, yeah, Dresden, like, drops all of his weapons. She goes at him with the taser, and he breathes in and just kind of blows out the taser. And it just, breaks because wizards and technology. But then he's like, I can see the abuse that Monica went through as a child, as a kid, and how she married a man and went through the same abuse, and that the only thing that she cares about, the only thing that she that really drives her is her kids, is her love for her kids and wanting to keep them safe. And it just happens so fast, and the way Monica recovers, because he said in the past that people who soul gaze that are not used to magic in that world, they don't recover well. Like, he's had people pass out, he's had people be sick, like physically be sick, but she recovers very quickly. And then she immediately is just like, I'm sorry, Mr. Dresden, which again is like, what did Monica see? I want to know more. Like, apparently there's some sort of connection. And now Dresden being like, immediately, I understand your pain now, makes me wonder, okay, what abuse or what did Dresden go through as a kid? Because he told us about his father, and it seemed like he loved his father very much.
What happened after his father died? Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, and I mean, we also don't know what happened before his mother died.
Yeah, and they didn't give his age either. They just said he was too young to be his father's assistant, so he must have been pretty young.
Yeah. So that just it gave us so much, but even more questions. It answered some questions, but we have even more questions now.
And then he get you some more bait, and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah. You're just like, I want it more. And then we actually see Monica's kids too, because they like pop out. I don't remember the son's name.
Billy.
Jenny is the daughter. Oh, Jenny and Billy. Okay. Jenny pops out. Billy pops out with a bat, which is just kind of adorable and just kind of sad at the same time. And he sees the eyes of Jenny, and he says that her eyes were too old and too knowing for a child her age, which also kind of circles back around to Monica's husband being abusive. Yeah. And it's like, oh, that is sad. He keeps drawing you in. Exactly, Christy. He keeps drawing you in. And then the chapter ends with Monica saying there's nothing anyone can do now. Oh, she was like, I'm gonna tell you what I know, but there's nothing anyone can do. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot to unpack as a chapter. What did you think of it?
Oh, that is so. It was so tense, and we're just like, give us. We're right there. We want the cheese, man. I want the cheese. I've been here. I've been sniffing around. I smell the cheese. I want the cheese, man. Give it to me.
I smell it. I want it.
It's delicious.
It's oh man. It also kind of reminded me of the Bianca scene or Bianca chapter, where it was like super intense, but then you saw the vulnerable side and like the emotional side, I guess, the way you put it. Yeah, and Jim Butcher just does it so well. He balances that line so well. And from my understanding, because we've said in the past, this was like a college project. I assume he's only going to get better with it. I have read the first couple chapters of Codex Alara, so I have seen a little bit. I don't remember when Codex Alara was published. I don't know how far apart these two books are, the Stormfront and the first Codex Alara book. But even that was a huge jump in writing style. But sorry, I digress. I'm super excited just to see where the whole Dresden series goes, because this is just so good.
I like that it's building up possibilities for the next books as well. It's not just like building up, the one book and giving it like just, a little bit of, you're going to find out some of these things here. No, it's like building up these relationships and all these backstories, all these things that you're not going to see here in this book. We're not going to see everything. We're not going to get that father, or like what happened to his dad. None of that's coming in this book. We've got to keep reading.
No.
He's got us.
No, yeah. I mean, in the White Council and...
we're probably going to see a little bit of that, though.
Oh, I hope so. I would assume so. Just because that's such a huge part of the magical world that we'd have to see it. I would assume we'd have to see it at some point. I also would love... Kirsty says Stormfront was published in 2000. Furies, the first book... Oh, it's only 4 years apart? Really? Wow. Yeah, okay, so it's 4 years apart between this book and the first Codex Alara book. I thought it was much further than that. That's so much... Well, I mean, 4 years is a long time, I guess, but that's so... So he would have gone from 20 to 24? Wasn't he 20 when he wrote Stormfront? Early 20s? Anyway, that's very impressive. I completely forgot what I was saying. Anyway.
We're good.
Anyway.
Anyway,
I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
Yeah, I think these books are outstanding. The writing is crazy good. Go ahead.
I was going to say about Bob. Like, we might learn more about Bob. I want to learn more about Bob because he's such a cool character. And I assume we must learn more. Oh, and also Bob's gone. Like, Bob is still away.
Because he thinks about that as one of the options, because he's like, well, there's no way I'm going to like figure out how to get some sort of makeshift spell to get that hair or track it down in some way without Bob's help.
Right. So he just does the basic like Bloodhound spell, which he can do. But yeah, because at this point it's probably been 20. No, it's actually been a little shy of 24 hours because the demon fight was like Thursday night? Oh, jeez.
Well, it was a fight, then he went straight to the scene of the crime where he talked to Murphy, had the bad news, went down, and then got beat. So, I mean, it's pretty close to the same amount of time, like same hour. So we're in like the first, but until he fell asleep, of course, I haven't win.
No, we lost a little bit of time there, but either way. Dresden needed Bob to track, but Bob is out. They saw the blood on the fingernails. You're right, exactly. Yeah, just so much on... And then he hasn't said it again, and it bothers me because I want to know more. The Never Never. I want to know what that is, because I feel like it's like the Fey Realm from Dungeons & Dragons and stuff. But he mentioned it because very early on, actually, when he talked about Bianca. Bianca being a creature of the Never Never, she being a vampire, and I was like, oh, I want to know more. But we'll get it eventually. We'll get it. We just have to wait for it. We gotta be patient. Cool. What's up, Petra? How's it going, dude? Welcome.
This so I think this next 5 will probably be the last chapters.
I was actually looking at that. We've got, I think, here, let me pull it up. My beard keeps getting tangled in my head. It's
glorious.
It's really bothering me. All right, so that puts us at chapter 20. So we have 7 more chapters. We have 21 to 27. Do we want to do
we'll
just the next 7?
Do the next 7, yeah. We can't leave a twoser. That'd be the worst cliffhanger ever.
That would be terrible.
Could be like a wrap up too, you know. Oh, they're wrapping up. We know what happened, but
wrap up and maybe setting up the next book. Yeah, I was gonna say we could do half. We could do like 3 and 4, but no, we'll just do all 7. Cool. Never talk about the never. Thank you, hacker. Thank you. Yeah. So next Saturday, do we want to do this time? Do we want to do in the morning? What do you think? What do the people? What do you guys think? Is this easier?
This time would be better for me.
That's fine. Okay.
If that works for everybody, hopefully. But yeah, let us know.
Well, I know
it didn't.
It's Saturday. People sleep in. Like I know Christy. Christy says I like earlier, but it's up to you. Jesus. Sorry, I dropped my phone. We can split the difference and do like. Well, we started at 2:00 your time today.
We could probably do one or so. That works.
Do one?
Because I still have to do an appointment next week.
Ooh, excuse me. Wonder also likes earlier. Well, we will try for. Yeah. We'll try for 1.
Yeah,
we'll do it an hour earlier than we did today. Thank you, Christy. I did flail. Well, thank you, John. Nope, I did flail. Yeah. I dropped my phone directly on my keyboard. Oh, man, I'm in danger. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. As a reminder, we do have a Discord channel. You're welcome to join. There's a section in there. Well, if anyone's watching the VOD for this, we mostly do gaming stuff. However, every Saturday we're doing this book club with the Dresden File series first. We haven't decided which one we're going to do second. The Codex Alara series or the... what's the other one called? Cinderspire?
I'm not familiar with either.
It's Jim Butcher's other series. The Codex Alara... We'll probably do Codex Alara because... That's Remy's favorite. Christy really likes it. Everyone seems to really like that one. Either way, we've got time before we get to those ones. Cinder Spires. Okay. Oh, Cinder Spires is only 2.5 books. I didn't know it was that short. Okay. Cinder is so good. Okay. Well, we'll get to both of them. But if you'd like to read along with us, if you'd like to read the first chapter for yourself, if you have any questions, there is a book club section on the Discord, and you're welcome to join. Everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for all the pictures and everything you guys have, your pets. Just absolute gems. Love it.
And the screenshots, everyone, like, different games that people are playing. Yeah. I really, really enjoy it, so keep them coming for sure.
Thanks for sharing.
I also added the GIF-only section. Ooh. I don't know if other people are using it. I really enjoy... So, I love GIFs. There's a lot of times where I just respond to things just with GIFs, so I just I know Christy's been throwing GIFs in there too, and also DJ threw a couple in there that were just like, what? But it's so much fun. Either way, take a look and see. And we've got a whole week scheduled for games, so come have fun with us. Awesome. All right, well, till next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Xeno, as always.
Thank you. See you guys, and have a great weekend.
All right, take care.